Welcome to this video from the artist formerly known as the Tesla Semi Stalker. Now I've sort of renamed myself to the Tesla Semi Advocate. This is a long one. This is a chronological history of all my semi-stalking, including from the very beginning to through the phase where I was doing musical drive-bys and forward, and we'll talk about each of those. Sometimes I'll do a voiceover for this video, and sometimes I'll just let it play. What we're seeing now is one of the very first in real life sightings of the Tesla Semi, first at the Silver Springs roundabout. And now I predicted where the semi was going to be going, back to home base, and I drove ahead of it on the highway leading into the Gigafactory, Nevada, and I set up this shot. And one of the most exciting moments for me as a semi-advocate was when Rob Maurer of Tesla Daily picked me up, and I was just happened to be watching his show the evening after I made a post, and he mentioned me, and so did Dylan from Electrified. So that sort of pulled me into the game, and I really enjoyed sharing my enthusiasm for the Tesla Semi and seeing that there was an audience out there. One of the downsides of being the Tesla Semi advocate is that how much of my content, especially early on, was either borrowed, reused, or plain stolen, sometimes occasionally with attribution, oftentimes with not, sometimes with the wrong attribution. What we're looking at now is the Tesla Semi delivery event for Pepsi. I manifested my way in there and enjoyed the presentation and all of the different stations. And anyways, I don't think I did any harm by manifesting my way in there, but apparently Tesla's not too happy. Still trying to figure out how I charmed, manifested, or otherwise made my way in. So that was a little bit of my Tesla Semi musical drive-bys that I used to really enjoy doing. I would actually try to think of a clever song to play, like Semi-Charm Kind of Life. And I was driving through the Tesla prototype building. There's no marking on it, and there's no signs saying no trespassing, but apparently somebody likely named Karen No offense to all you Karens out there, but somebody didn't like me doing the drive-throughs. So I'm going to keep this video as upbeat as possible, but I was no longer able to do those drive-bys because they were just so harmful. Anyway, so I resorted to not driving through their property, which was just like any industrial area that you might cut through to go to a shortcut to get to the other side of the block. In any event, I certainly meant no harm and have nothing, and didn't want to do nothing but promote this Tesla semi. This is obviously when I was still prior to being advised that they no longer wanted me to do the drive-bys, but you don't see anything in these drive-bys that weren't being posted on out on the public highways. I certainly wouldn't expose any Tesla secrets. What we just saw were the fairings, and here's a little slow motion with some bizarre sound of a Tesla semi pulling out behind me. So this footage is worth talking about. This was my big idea, to try to catch the Tesla semi going up a Donner Pass grade to show its incredible power and how it'll be a game changer. The Tesla semi, as mentioned at the Pepsi delivery event, can maintain highway legal speeds on any highway in the country, meaning there is no grade that it can't stay at a 55 or 65, depending on what the speed limit is. So this ended up blowing up pretty well. Didn't hurt that Elon liked one of these tweets, and this was also very popular on YouTube. It should be brought up that this particular driver I've caught on a handful of occasions, and he became semi-famous, no pun intended on the semi-famous, as and was nicknamed Yeti Man. He's a big, burly looking dude, and he looks like the prototypical semi-truck driver straight out of Central Casting. And he appears in a lot of these, especially that just happened to be that he was the driver that I happened to catch going up the Bass Lake grade. I can't tell you the amount of effort I put into being in the right place at the right time to get this video, and appreciate you guys watching this video to somehow help with that effort. I'll just play a little bit of music for now, and then do a voiceover when I think it's appropriate. after these videos were posted, you wouldn't believe the amount of playful banter that the Diesel Bros engaged in with me and with others. They were certain with their x-ray vision that the Tesla Semi shown here was empty, and I happen to know for a fact that these trucks were not loaded, and other people wanted to know exactly all the specs, and I pointed out that my videos were not intended to be a white paper and that they could go to Tesla's site for the specifics. It was basically, these videos are for fun. Here's the Tesla Semi on the back of my Model S. That's how much of a fan I have. I have a little sticker, and I would never put any other sticker on my Tesla Plaid. Anyways, it was just it was unbelievable, and it was interesting to see the haters and the defenders and all sorts of people in between. But there was no lack of commentary. This is some footage of a Tesla Semi endurance team driver getting ready for a shift, checking out everything before pulling out. And the endurance team is the part of engineering division that is entrusted with testing and putting miles on the Tesla Semi. And their goal is to stay ahead of the Pepsi fleet so that they could uncover any mileage or age-induced issues before Pepsi does, and so they will know what needs to be done to remediate those issues. So the endurance team is an important, and I think it demonstrates Tesla's commitment to making sure the Tesla Semi is ready for the real world, and they're not going to let it get out prematurely. And Pepsi is more of a alpha testing partner of theirs. And if you don't know, Tesla has Tesla mechanics on site at Pepsi in California to keep an eye on the vehicles and do maintenance and whatever else is necessary. And there have been a few issues along the way with different electrical components, but in every case, Tesla figures it out and comes up with a better part or a better maintenance or installation technique to remediate. So I think that demonstrates Tesla's commitment. The fact that they have so many drivers driving 3 shifts a day, 6 days a week, putting miles on these vehicles just to make sure that they're ready for prime time. And I believe there's going to be a slightly modified and upgraded version of the vehicle, of this Tesla Semi, released and announced before the real mass production, volume production begins. So that's a good thing. This is some fun video, a drone footage I got, and it shows several long-range Tesla semis as well as at least one short-range, maybe more than one, and it also shows a Peterbilt that they purchased so that when they have to do a long delivery of a Tesla semi up north, like to Alaska for cold weather testing or back east. Obviously, since the infrastructure, the megacharger infrastructure is not yet in place, they were hiring that out, and now they have, because they have plenty of semi drivers, and now they have their own Peterbilt. This is the vehicle you're looking at right there is the true OG Alpha Semi. That is a Freightliner Tesla purchased and completely, it was the experimental Frankenstein where they originally put in batteries and electric motors even before the original reveal. And you know, they've come a long way since that original reveal. That was announced was going to have 4 Model 3 motors, and that was pre the torque axle and efficiency axle, which is the major breakthrough for this program. Without the breakthrough of the torque axle and the efficiency axle, the torque axle disconnects and allows the semi to have much improved range. And those are now 3 motors, three essentially plaid motors running at a higher voltage. That 2 of them are attached to the torque motor, and that the torque axle and those 2 motors disengage unless needed, going up a grade or accelerating. But on flat highways, 1 plaid motor is turning the efficiency axle, and that's why the Tesla Semi can do seemingly the impossible. If you've owned any kind of a EV and tried to do towing with it, you know it's extremely difficult. So this was some video of the short range, is the one in between the Peterbilt and has the smaller fairing. It's a shorter chassis because it has 2 battery packs instead of 3. And yeah, this was a fun video. And again, doing this from property adjacent to Tesla.
This is some drone footage of the Tesla internal meeting where they announced, where they were giving employee semi-rides. They had 2 Tesla semis and they had this event. And from what I understand, this was the event where they announced that the original $3.6 billion expansion was delayed, and that instead they would be doing a separate standalone building. And I believe this was in December of 2023, and we weren't completely sure of that until recently when they did have a groundbreaking event over on the Gigafactory property, but not next to the building, more where the warehouse on wheels used to be. And you can look at a lot of my previous videos for more content on that and an explanation of what the warehouse on wheels is. For now, this is just a fun event where Tesla employees were getting rides in the Tesla Semi. And if you notice, when later on you'll see that when he picks up new passengers, he goes around the corner and he stops and he does a little bit of a launch, which is kind of fun. This is the mega chargers up at the Gigafactory proper. I happened to be doing a drone flight and saw these 2 lined up getting charged, and that was interesting to see. There's going to be a time in the future when almost every truck stop along the interstate highways and beyond. I think I'll just let the rest of these clips play out and maybe put in some of my reggae outro and just let you enjoy some more Tesla Semi video. I felt fortunate to live about 20 miles away from the prototype Tesla Semi production facility, and I was happy to spend a good deal of time advocating for the Tesla Semi, and hope you appreciate that. And I realize this was a very long video, and appreciate you if you stuck this long. You're probably the 5% solution. Thanks.
and I'll try to keep getting more interesting content for you guys and gals. 98% guys.